FRA Branch 103 President John Oliver. I'd like to welcome you to this afternoon's Veterans Day FRA two-bell ceremony. Today, give a brief description of the ceremony, and then John Hook and I are going to perform the ceremony. Really, basically, there's no written documentation or knowledge that clearly identifies the origin of this beloved ritual, except that it is unique to the FRA, and it's ours alone. It has been plagiarized in recent years, but it started with the FRA. In researching naval history back to the time of Britain's Lord Nelson, we can find no record of a memorial service ceremony using the ship's bell. Our current elder statesmen credit several deceased shipmates as being largely responsible for the originating and refinement of this ritual. But it is clear the sounding of two bells is the time or the moment to pause and reflect on our shipmates who are now serving on the staff of the Supreme Commander. In days past, two bells marked the end of the routine day aboard ship. It was time for tattoo, and soon taps would sound throughout the ship. Certainly, this is the most appropriate time to honor our departed shipmates. Those familiar with one of the greatest stories of the sea, the Ancient Mariner, will remember that he found safe passage in narrow waters by listening to the bell on the marking buoy. The bobbing marking buoy sounds much like the tolling of a bell for a funeral dirge, solemn, reverent, and mournful. Since the beginning of recorded time, men of the sea have been guided and impressed by the sounding of the ship's bell. In our two-bell ceremony, the tolling of the bell and the spoken word can and should be combined to execute a ritual that contributes to and strengthens the bond that exists amongst all shipmates of the Fleet Reserve Association. On the table sits a red rose to signify the blood our fallen shipmates have shed. A crystal glass of water to quench their thirst. Salt to remind us of the pain they feel, lest we forget them. The china is bone white, as is the purity of their hearts and sacrifices. This all on a white linen cloth. They could be used as a clean bandage for their wounds. We take this time to remember them. The place we set for them this afternoon is a special place, as is the place we set for them and we hold for them in our hearts, in our minds, and in our Navy. As stated before, in days past, two bells marked the end of the routine day aboard the ship, and it was time for tattoo, and soon taps would sound throughout the ship. Certainly, this is the most appropriate time to honor our departed shipmates. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please bow your heads? The toll of the ship's bell reminds us of the reverence we owe to our departed shipmates. And to those who guard the honor of our country, upon the sea, under the sea, in the air, and on foreign soil. Let it be a reminder of the faith they confide in us. Let us who gather here not forget our obligations, and in silence breathe a prayer for our absent shipmates. Each in his own words, and each in his own way, bow your heads and let us pray. Offering a silent prayer for our departed shipmates who are now serving on the staff of the Supreme Commander. This moment of reverence we dedicate to shipmates now serving, missing in action, and those prisoners of war. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the Fleet Reserve Association 2-bell ceremony. Please join the branch president and the branch home for a reception. I think happy hour prices are good until 1900. Thank you.